Good morning, friends. Welcome to DurgaSoft online training. So, in today's session, we are going to start a new batch. Okay, so weekend batch. So, every Saturday and Sunday, you are supposed to attend these classes. So, the timings are at 7 o'clock. We are going to start the session. Okay, so here the title of our course is nothing but let me introduce first myself. Sir, this is Prakash Babu. So having 12 years of experience as a trainer. So here the course which we are going to start is nothing but core and advanced Python. This is nothing but the course core and advanced Python. And sir, what about the duration of this course? In how many days we are going to finish? Because our batch is a weekend batch, right? That's why, sir, 5 weekends we are going to cover. Within 5 weekends we are going to finish starting from the next week. Okay, but anyway, you have to register by today or tomorrow itself. Then, sir, what about the timings? The timings are tentatively from morning 7 a.m to, okay, so 9:30 p.m, 9:30 a.m. Okay, sir, 2.5 hours. Maybe sometime we will take up to 10 by taking some 20 to 30 minutes break in the middle. Okay, this is nothing but the timings. Sir, what about the syllabus? Okay, what about the syllabus? So what syllabus we are going to cover? Very simple, it is already there in our DurgaSoft website. If you want to just have a look once, I will open and I will show you. Yes, this is nothing but the syllabus. Okay, anyway, I will give you the syllabus in detail. Okay, just it is a normal syllabus structure will be there, like what things we are going to discuss. But anyway, in detail syllabus I will provide, don't worry. Okay, sir, this is nothing but the syllabus aspect which you are going to get. Sir, okay, everything is fine. What about fees for this course? The fees for this course is nothing but rupees 7,000. Okay, rupees 7,000 Indian currency. Sir, to whom I have to contact for registration purpose? If I want to join to this course, sir, to whom I have to contact? Very simple, admin people are there, sir. You need to contact to that admin people. Sir, they will provide the response for you people. Sir, what is the admin number? Is nothing but 720, sir, 721 2427. This is nothing but the contact number. Sir, you have to contact and you have to register for this course before tomorrow afternoon. Okay, then, sir, this is nothing but a general outline view. Sir, what about the syllabus? What syllabus you are going to cover? I will display the syllabus structure so that you people will get clarity. Python syllabus. 1 minute, I will show you the syllabus. Yeah, you can able to see this is nothing but the syllabus which we are going to discuss. Okay, so total 25 chapters will be there. In the first chapter, I'm going to explain introduction to the programming. What is mean by programming? So when we have to go for programming, and all these things we are going to discuss in programming. Okay, then introduction to the Python. Who introduced Python? What is mean by Python software? How we can work with Python software? And what are the execution steps? Suppose if I want to install Python software into my local machine, what steps I have to follow? Okay, then is there any chance of executing Python programs other than these compilers? So because even online tools also available, using that we can able to run Python program. Sir, how you can do in that particular style? Okay, then sir, what are the commands used? All these things we are going to discuss in second part. Then in the third part we are going to start fundamentals, Python fundamentals in detail about these things, like what is mean by variable, what is mean by constant, keywords, identifiers. All these things we are going to discuss in Python fundamentals. Then data types. Strictly speaking, Python is not going to provide any support for the data types, but anyway, in detail we are going to discuss about the internal structure of data types. So all these things we are going to discuss in our data types session. Then input and output. I think you know very well, if you are learning any programming language, sir, printing output to the user, accepting the data from the user is always a good programming practice, right? Without that we can't run any program. So for that, what are the input statements available and what are the output statements that are available, we are going to discuss as a part of input and output formats. Okay, then sir, operators. What is mean by operator? What is mean by operand, operator, operation? Sir, how you are going to divide the operators? What divisions are there? In detail about these operators we are going to discuss. Okay, then next and after that, control flow statements. Sir, what is the need of control flow statements? Control flow statements, in the sense, don't get confused, it is something like if condition, else, like that. Okay, while loop, do while, all these things we are going to discuss. Generally the execution is nothing but, it is nothing but a sequential flow. That is, from top to bottom, every instruction is going to execute. Sir, if we don't want that instruction, I want to disturb the actual flow, then we have to go for these control flow statements. Okay, then next and after that, string data structure. Sir, what is mean by string data structure? How you can work with the string data structure? All these things we are going to discuss. So do you know, majority of the coding questions will be on strings only. That's why if you are very familiar in the strings concept, then nothing will be happen. Okay, sir, it is a very easy concept. So various methods are available. Suppose if I want to convert lowercase to uppercase, uppercase to lowercase, even swap case. Swap case in the sense, if the given data in lowercase, it will convert it into uppercase. If the given data is in uppercase, it will convert it into lowercase. Like this, n number of predefined functions are available. All these things you can able to get from this string data structure. Sir, next and after that, sir, we have list data structure is there. So list in the sense, like it is a collection of elements. So what operations we can able to perform on the list? Sir, it is similar to just like arrays. Okay, all these things we are going to cover. So we can say these are nothing but something related to the data structures. Okay, so string data structure, list data structure, tuple data structure, set data structure, dictionary data structure. In detail about these data structures we are going to cover as a part of our Python course. Then sir, anyway, our Python is the all-rounder, like it is going to provide support for what you can call scripting approaches, functional programming, object-oriented programming. So it is going to provide support for each and everything. As a part of that, sir, compulsory you should know what is meant by function, how internally these functions are developed, how you can prepare a function, how you can execute the function. Okay, sir, what internal things are there in functions? Sir, everything we are going to discuss here. Okay, so this is nothing but what is mean by functions and how you can work with functions, like inner functions, nested functions, recursive functions, anonymous functions, all these things. Okay, sir, next and after that, so some predefined modules are there. Like there is a module is there in Python, so with the help of math, where various mathematical related components are available in this math module. Like this, we have n number of modules are there. The purpose of each and every module is nothing but just it is going to provide some kind of utility functionalities. Utility functionalities in the sense, sir, I want to calculate a square root. Don't depend on any other application. So simply we can call sqrt function, which will return the square root. Similarly, if I want to calculate a factorial also, no need to hard code the code. Okay, so because a predefined function is available with name factorial, using that we can do. Similarly, calendar module, time module is there, os module is there, random module is there, array module is there. These are the some extra modules which I am going to cover as a part of predefined modules. Okay, then sir, how to create our own module also I am going to explain in the functions session at the last. Modules and packages, how you can create a module, how you can create packages, all these things we are going to discuss. Then sir, as a part of this, just I'm going to touch mysql also. So because I told already, so python if you are learning, compulsory we must know, sir, how to communicate with the database. It is a good programming practice for every programming language. Database connections are mandatory. So how to create that database, sir, how to create a table in that database. Sir, once if the database and the table are ready, how you can able to communicate with that particular database and the table. So how to insert the records, how to delete the records. So all such type of operations we are going to perform by using this mysql. Even pdbc, python database connectivity, we are going to create a python program to communicate with the database. Okay, then sir, files, it is common known that every input which we are accepting from the user, and after processing if you are displaying the output, it is just nothing but a temporary. Suppose if you open the file tomorrow, definitely your input and output won't be there. So I want to store the data permanently on the hard disk. Then we have to go with the files concept, where whatever data you are processing you can store. So how to perform reading and writing operation on the files? Sir, what is mean by binary file, CSV file, Excel file? So how to perform zip and unzip operation, pickling and unpickling, all these things we are going to discuss. Then anyway, object oriented programming, almost 50 topics are there. Sir, even if I explain now, you want to get it in detail, we are going to discuss in our regular sessions. Then regular expression. So do you know, if I want to search for any data, okay, if I want to search for any data, mainly in the string handling, it is a good programming practice to prepare a regular expression. Once if you prepare regular expression, sir, based on that, whatever matches are available, you can able to fetch from that. So it is a good programming, right? So introduction to the regular expression. So some two important classes are there, like pattern class and matcher class. Sir, all these things we are going to discuss. So even we are going to see some small mini projects also, like sir, if I want to verify the given mobile number is valid mobile number or not. Sir, how you can decide the mobile number is valid or not? Because sir, we are not checking with the permanent database, just at a top level. Suppose consider the user is giving only 5-digit mobile number. Sir, taking that number and searching in the database is a worst programming, right? Because we know 5-digit mobile number won't be there. And similarly, the mobile number is not going to starts with sir 0 or 1. Okay, so it is going to starts from either 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So such a type of filtration if you want to do, then compulsory we have to go for which concept? A regular expression. Similarly, how you can perform gmail id validation, so bike registration number validation. Sir, how to extract mobile numbers from a file. Sir, how to extract pattern from the file. All these things we are going to see in these regular expressions. Sir, next and after that, web scraping. Suppose if I have given website or contact as web page is there. Sir, I want to filter all the email IDs and names from that particular website. How you can do that? For that, we have web scraping option is there. Similarly, sir, if I'm doing the program, if anywhere some runtime error occurred means because of some inputs and outputs, if you are facing any issue, then that is called as exceptions. Sir, how you can handle the exceptions by using Python programming is a good programming practice. Okay. So while delivering the projects, even if the client is not giving a proper input, sir, the program should not be aborted. Sir, the program has to respond. So what problem the user has faced, that we need to indicate, like division by zero. If you are trying to access information from the file which is not already available, so in such a cases, you can display saying file is not available. This arithmetic operation is illegal. So such type of information you can able to supply. So those things we can handle by using this exception handling mechanism. Then even assertions are there, which is used in debugging. Then multi-threading, how you can execute the tasks more than one simultaneously. Suppose assume I have 5 tasks are there. Instead of executing every task one by one, better to execute the tasks parallelly. That concept is called as multi-threading. Okay. Logging, how to create log file. Sir, how to work with the log files, all these things we are going to discuss in Python. Then 100 pattern programs. Okay. So like you may know in your BTech or any other degree, sir, you have seen preparing the patterns like stars, numbers, all these things. Sir, all those things we are going to discuss in 100 pattern programs. This is nothing but the syllabus what we are going to cover. Okay. Sir, do you have any doubts up to this? Please confirm. Yes, if you are having any query, yes, you can ask. If no queries, please acknowledge me. Any doubts up to this? I request every student to respond. Yes, ready, Pavan, Prudvi, Samir, are you there? Any doubts up to this? Yeah, fine. Sir, let me go with the chapters one by one. Sir, what is the first chapter that we have is introduction to the programming. Okay, introduction to the programming. Sir, what is mean by programming when we have to go for programming concept? So all these things I am going to explain. Sir, in this, what is the first topic is nothing but, sir, language. What is mean by language? Very simple. A language is nothing but a communication medium, sir. A language is a communication medium. Like if I want to communicate with you, or if I want to communicate with a mission, or if I want to communicate with any person, then compulsory we should know the language. Otherwise, we can't communicate, right? That is the reason this language is categorized into multiple types. But just for explaining this, I'm typing one thing. Observe here. Sir, person to person communication, sir, is possible by using some languages like English, Telugu, Tamil, etc. Yes, by using these languages we can communicate with each other. Okay. Similarly, 1 minute. Yeah. Similarly, assume I have a mission is there. Sir, I want to communicate with another mission. Yes, mission to mission communication is possible by using binary language. So binary, or we can use the word called mission language. So like a mission can communicate with another mission. Like my mobile can communicate with another mobile, or my mobile can communicate with my laptop by exchanging the information in the form of zeros and ones. So in that case also we are considering that as a language. Okay, a language means what? It is a communication medium between two things. Person to person communication, there may be a chance. Mission to mission, there may be a chance. Now, sir, I want to talk about programming language. So what is mean by programming language? How you can go with programming language? Very simple. If you observe in the previous case, sir, person to person communication is possible, happily we can do. But mission to mission communication is also no issues. But is there any chance of communicating a person with mission? No, it is highly impossible. Sir, it is highly impossible. Okay, communication between person and mission, right? Because a person is going to send the information with the help of zeros and one. I mean, a person is going to send the information with the help of English or any other language, but a mission can't understand these things. Sir, compulsory. Okay, sir, we have to supply the instructions in the form of zeros and ones, then only a mission can understand. But unfortunately, sir, we don't have any facility. Okay, we don't have any facility to communicate by using zeros and ones. It is not possible, right? That is the reason, sir, why we are depending on programming language. Sir, I am defining here. So programming language is a tool which is used to communicate with the mission. Sir, I want to communicate with the mission, then compulsory, sir, we have to use this as a tool. Okay, or sir, programming language is a software used to communicate. Okay, or we can say it is a translator. It is a translator, so which converts human readable code into mission understandable code. Sir, whatever code we have written, it will convert it into mission understandable format. Sir, for that facility, we are going to use this programming language. So programming language is a tool which is used to communicate with the mission. Sir, I want to communicate with my mission, then compulsory we have to go with the tool. That tool is nothing but programming language. Remember these points very carefully. Okay, sir, fine. What are the different types of programming languages available? Very simple. In the market, there are n number of programming languages are available. Sir, it is all these programming languages are categorized into three categories. What is the first one? Is nothing but low level programming languages. Okay, the second one is nothing but high level programming languages. So the third one is nothing but middle level programming languages. So high level programming languages, in the sense, in the olden days, they are using these programming languages. I mean, low level. Sir, initial days when the programming area is started in the computing field, then at the initial stages, they are always using low level instructions, because each and everything here, the programmer has to take care. The responsibility of the programmer is very more when compared with high level programming languages. Here the programmer has to concentrate on the business logic. At the same time, he is having responsibility to develop the application also. Sir, simultaneously both operations here we are going to perform. Sir, simply I can say, so it is going to use, okay, the instructions are given in low level format. Okay, here the programmer is responsible to perform all the activities. Okay, sir, including memory allocation or everything, memory allocation. Sir, all these things have to be done by the programmer. Okay, so then here the instructions are in low level, means definitely performance wise it is not up to the mark, because other than implementation we are doing n number of additional activities, right? Definitely performance wise it is not up to the mark. The example programming languages which are supporting this low level is nothing but C language, sir, basic, COBOL. Sir, like example programming languages, old programming languages. Sir, what is mean by high level? The problem with low level programming languages are rectified in nowadays. Every programming language will comes under this high level programming languages only. Sir, what is mean by this high level programming language? Very simple. In this case, the instructions are given in high level format. Okay, the instructions are given in high level format. Sir, fine. So here the programmer is responsible to perform only business logic. Okay, only business logic in the sense, sir, I came to perform addition of two numbers. Do addition only and don't do extra other activities. Extra other activities in the sense, sir, I want to allocate the memory. It is not in your hand. What is the need for allocating the memory? So such a type of some extra activities, no need to perform by the programmer. Okay. So such a type of beautiful concept is there in the high level. Sir, nowadays almost all the programming languages are comes with this high level feature. Okay. Sir, next here, sir, what about the remaining activities like memory allocation, all these things? So here programming language will provide some assistance. Okay, programming language will provide some assistance for the user. Okay, like garbage collection, memory allocation and deallocation can be done by using memory assistant. Okay, like n number of things are there. By using all those things, high level activities we can able to enjoy. Okay, this is nothing but what is mean by high level programming languages. Next, sir, which programming languages are providing support for this high level? Very simple, sir. C language, Java, Python, etc. All the upcoming languages which are coming in the latest versions, sir, all those things will comes under these high level programming features. Sir, what about middle level? If any programming language supports the features of both low level and high level, sir, it is said to be middle level programming languages. Sir, the only one middle level programming language that we have is nothing but C language. Okay, so because C is going to provide support for both low level as well as high level activities. Our C language is going to provide support for both low level as well as high level. Okay, so that is the reason why majority of the students are starting their career so with respect to this C language. Okay, so we can say it is a middle level. Okay, it supports features of both low level and high level. So best example for this is nothing but C language. Okay, so C language with pointers is called as low level language, because it is dealing with memory. Sir, C language without pointers is called as high level programming. Okay, sir, which is not going to deal with pointers. That means memory allocation, all these things won't be there in this style. Sir, this is nothing but what by programming language and what are all the different types of programming languages which are available with us. Okay, sir, up to this, do you have any doubts? Please confirm. I request every participant to actively participate in the session. Okay, please. Any doubts up to this? Please confirm. If no queries, acknowledge me so that we will continue. Any doubts up to this? Samir, Prudvi. No response from your side. Huh? Sir, fine. Sir, I know about language and I know very well about programming language. Of course, types of programming language. Sir, what about a translator? What about a compiler? And what about interpreter? Sir, do you have any idea towards compiler and interpreter? Please confirm. Do you have any idea towards compiler and interpreter? Please confirm. What is mean by compiler? What is mean by interpreter? When we have to go for compiler, when we have to go for interpreter? Do you have any idea? Fine. Yeah. Sir, now let me go with this translator. What is mean by translator? Sir, when we have to go for translator, all these things I'm explain now. Sir, what is mean by translator? Very simple. The name itself is giving the meaning, right? Sir, translator means which is used for translation purpose. Sir, I want to translate, sir, from one file to another file, or I want to convert from MP3 format to some other format. Like whenever conversion process is coming, then we have to depend on these things. Okay. So translator is nothing but sir, which converts one form of data into another format. Okay, it will convert one form of data into another form. Sir, in our programming, how you can relate these things? Very simple. It will convert, sir, human readable code. Okay, human readable code into, sir, mission understandable format. Okay, it will convert human readable code into mission understandable code. So for that purpose, we are using translator. So translator main task is nothing but to put human readable code into mission understandable code. Okay, sir, how many translators are available in the market? Very simple, sir. We have three types of translators are there. One is nothing but compilers. So in the initial days, they have used assemblers. Second one is nothing but compilers. Sir, what is mean by assemblers is nothing but, sir, very simple. 1 minute. Let me take the third one also. Interpreters. Sir, what is mean by assemblers? When we have to go for these assemblers? Very simple. In the olden days, so it is used to convert to low level instructions into mission understandable format. So it is used to convert low level instructions into mission understandable code. So for this purpose, we are going to use assemblers. So do you know, it is not used in the all programming languages. It is used in assembly programming language. It is used in assembly programming. There is one programming language with name assembly programming. There they are going to use these concepts. And one more thing, I hope you know about these things like microprocessors and microcontrollers. So in microprocessor and microcontrollers also, we are going to use these mnemonics. I hope you heard this name, mnemonics. Sir, mnemonics means very simple. It is related to the memory activity. Okay, mnemonics. Like I will take one example instructions. Like assume I want to perform addition of two numbers. We can write instruction like this. Sir, move hash 2012 is nothing but something like 20. Sir, move the value of 20 to this memory location. Similarly, okay, sir, move hash 20, sir, 2034, sir, to the memory location 30. then I have to perform addition operation on these two memory locations. So 202012 and sir 2034, like this. Just example sake I'm taking. Again, we have to move the result, okay, so to the variable called a. Then sir we have to sir print the value called a. Like this n number of activities we have to do in the case of assembly programming language. Sir, if you are from BTech background, sir, you know very well about the microprocessor or microcontroller, where the instructions are given in assembly programming language. Remember this point very well. Sir, okay. What about compilers? Compilers operation is also same. Okay. So which is used to convert human readable code into machine understandable format. Sir, it is used to convert sir human readable code into mission understandable code. This is nothing but the task of compiler. But how the compiler is going to behave? Sir, it will scan the total program. Okay, it is going to scan the total program at a time. It is going to scan the total program at a time, and it is going to perform the activities. Okay, then sir, while converting this total program, if you are getting any error, then how it is going to react? Very simple. Suppose consider we got some 3 to 4 errors. Sir, all the errors will be displayed at a time. Okay, sir, it will display all the errors at a time. Okay, sir, once if you rectified all these errors, then only the program is going to execute. Sir, example programming languages which provides a support for compiler is nothing but C, C++, Java, etc. Okay, sir, what about interpreter? The agenda of interpreter is also same. It is used to convert sir human readable code into machine understandable code. It is used to convert human readable code into sir mission understandable code. Then sir, it is going to scan the total program at a time or line by line? Sir, it is going to scan line by line. It will scan the program, it will scan the total program line by line. Sir, first line it is going to read first, then it is going to read second line, like that it is going to read line by line. Okay, sir, anyway, it won't display the it won't display all the errors at a time. Sir, it will display only one error at a time. It is going to display only one error at a time. Sir, example programming languages which provides a support for this interpreter is nothing but sir, do you know Java and Python? Immediately you may ask the doubt, sir, what about Java? Java is there in both compiled as well as interpreted tool. Yes, an extra note, Java is both compiled and interpreted programming language. So maybe you have a doubt, sir, because of this performance of the system is going to decrease. No, such a type of facility is not there. Sir, automatically it is going to increase the performance. Don't worry, that is not in our scope. Okay, this is nothing but what is mean by translators which we have. That is, so assemblers, compilers, and interpreters. Sir, when we have to go for assemblers, when we have to go for interpreters, and when we have to go for compilers, I think it is very clear for you people. So do you have any doubts up to this? Please confirm. Any doubts up to this? Yes, I request everyone to respond, sir, please. Yes, fine. Yeah. Sir, the next topic what I'm going to discuss for you people is, sir, compiler versus interpreter. Sir, what is mean by compiler and what is mean by interpreter? Already we know. Sir, I want to explain the difference between these two. Sir, nothing is there here. So compiler and interpreter both are almost same, except the difference is nothing but the way of executing the instructions. In the compiler, all the instructions will be executed at a time, whereas in the interpreter, line by line execution is going to be happen. Sir, beyond that, nothing. Let me clarify that also. Okay. Sir, first I am going to take a compiler. So what about the compiler? Sir, very simple. In the case of compiler, sir, it is used to convert. Okay, it is used to convert human readable code into mission understandable format. Sir, fine. What about second one? Very simple. Sir, it scans total program. It scans the total program at a time. At a time, it is going to scan the total program. Sir, second step, okay, it will display all the errors. It is going to display all the errors at a time. Sir, it will display all the errors at a time. For example, consider my program is having 5 errors. Sir, it will display all the errors at a time. Sir, if there is no error, okay, if errors are there, okay, then sir, we have to do debugging process. We have to do debugging process. Sir, what is mean by debugging? Verifying the errors. We have to verify one by one. Sir, if there is no error, okay, sir, then the total program will be converted. The total program will be converted into mission code. This is nothing but what we have. Sir, in the case of compiler, if you are not having any error, all the instructions will be converted into mission code at a time. That is nothing but the beauty what we have in the case of compiler. Okay. Next, sir, already we know example programming languages which are providing support for these compilers. Like we have C, C++, Java, etc. Then, sir, what about interpreter? Interpreter is also almost the same. Okay, sir, the main purpose is it is used to convert human readable code into mission understandable code. Sir, fine. What about next one? It is going to scan the program one line by line. Okay, it will scan the program line by line. So first line it will scan, then it will go with the second line. Like this, line by line it is going to scan. Sir, it will display only one error at a time. It is going to display only one error at a time. Only topmost error will be displayed. So once if you rectify that error, then only it will transfer the control to the next line. Okay. Then, sir, if we have errors, if errors are there, then, sir, we have to debug. Okay. We have to debug the errors. Okay. We have to do debugging. Sir, one by one, right? Every time you have to perform debugging operation. Sir, of course, performance wise it is a bit low. Okay, but don't worry, we have so many examples are there. That is, if error rates are very less, then better to go for interpreter only, because the chance of getting errors is very less, means then the chance of verifying is also very less. So if there is no error in your program, then line by line, okay, line by line, the instructions will be converted. Okay, like this we are going to get. Then sixth one, example programming language for this. Sir, you know Java and Python are the best example. Okay, sir, I want to demonstrate with the help of example program, sir, how this Java and how this Python are going to work. Sir, just have a look once. I am explaining at the outline. Okay, assume I have some Java program is there. Sir, my Java program wants to print some message on the screen. Like in the Java, how to print message means we have to use system.out.println. Assume I am printing hello 1, okay, and hello 2, and then hello 3, and then hello 4, like that. Sir, how you can compile the program is nothing but by using command prompt we can compile. So the command used to compile the Java program is nothing but Java C. Java C test.java. Sir, I am trying to compile the program. I think there is no error. That's why happily it is going to return to the command prompt. Suppose manually I want to create some errors here. I don't have double quotation. I don't have parenthesis. I don't have semicolon. Like n number of things are not there. Now let us execute what will happen. Java C test.java. Have you observed all the errors are displayed at a time? This is the beauty which we have in the compiler. Okay. Sir, Java C is the command which is used to run your compiler. When you are running this command, sir, it is displaying all the errors. So total how many errors are there? So three errors are there. All these three errors are displayed at a time. Like you can able to see along with the line numbers, it is displaying. Okay. And even that error message also got displayed. So on so error message is there. Sir, you have to rectify. These messages will be used in the debugging process for verifying the errors. Okay. This is nothing but what we have. Sir, okay, fine. It is very clear. Then what about Python? I want to take the same example scenario for Python also. Let me take a Python program. Assume I want to do the same activity like so hello 1, I want to print a hello 2, I want to print a hello 3. Sir, how to execute Python program means for that we have to use one special command called py. Okay. Sir, py space file name dot py. Sir, what is the file name here is nothing but test.py. Sir, once if you press enter, immediately we are going to get the result like hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 like this. Sir, how you can create the errors in this program? Sir, manually I'm creating some errors like this. Sir, now let me run the program. Our interpreter is going to display only one error. Sir, almost there are multiple errors are there, but you can able to see how many errors got displayed. Only one error. Okay. Once if you rectify that error, okay, unterminated string literal detected at line number 1. Sir, if you clear this error, then you are going to get the next error, undetermined string literal detected at line number 2. So like this, errors will be detected one by one. Sir, once if you rectify the first error, then only the control is going to be transferred to the next line. Like this, line by line, sir, it is going to do. Okay, this is nothing but an example program indicating how our interpreter is going to work with respect to the Python. Okay. Yeah, this is nothing but the programmatic difference between compiler and the interpreter. This is nothing but the complete introduction to the programming first chapter. Okay, like what is mean by language, what is mean by programming language. Sir, when we have to go for programming language, okay, so what are the types of programming languages which we have, and what is mean by translator, what is mean by compiler, and what is mean by interpreter. So example program for compiler and interpreter. Okay. Do you have any doubts up to this? Please confirm. Clear, right? Yes, very good. So this is about the first chapter. Yeah. This is about the first chapter what we have. Okay, introduction to the programming. So tomorrow we will meet for the continuation where I am going to start introduction to the Python programming. At the same time, I am going to introduce Python programs also for you people. Sir, tomorrow the session will be from 7 to 9 or 9:30. Okay. Sir, there I am going to cover introduction to the Python programming, Python fundamentals, data types in Python. Okay, these are three topics I'm going to discuss in tomorrow's session along with the programs. Okay, yeah. Sir, same link you have to use for attending the demo session tomorrow also. And by tomorrow, you have to make a payment. Okay, yeah. Sir, thank you. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me now. Otherwise, you can leave the session. Yes, please confirm. Yeah, no doubts, I think so, right? Yes, this is nothing but the demo session. Thank you. So we will meet for the continuation tomorrow. Sir, tomorrow these three topics I am going to explain. That is introduction to the Python, Python fundamentals, data types in Python. Okay. Yeah, sir, thank you. You can leave the session now.